Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great week so far, and welcome to this new video here on SUI. We're going to do a full update here. Wanted to briefly look at the fundamentals, but we'll focus mostly on the technicals here. The technical situation for SUI has changed quite drastically from the last time I covered it. I mean, SUI, when we talked about it in what was it, the beginning of April, right here, but also. When we dropped down into that support level around 1.75, I was quite positive about SUI, and it was one of the best altcoins in terms of recovery after the bearish pressure of the start of April. But since then, that has gone away a bit, and that's very, very apparent if you compare SUI, for example, to a coin like Solana. Or to a coin like XRP. I mean, it's just there's not a lot of momentum, and the volume is still relatively high, but the volume is not that high anymore compared to the previous volume as it was before. So therefore, I've turned slightly more bearish on SUI, and it's no longer one of my favorite altcoins to bid or to buy. My preference right now goes out to Solana. But does that mean that I think SUI is going to be very, very bearish? No, I just think for now I think the upside is capped. I mean, if we talk about the market real quick, before we focus on some important levels for SUI, the market is quite stable, right? So Bitcoin, look, we still have a long way to go to turn bullish on the lower time frames, because we'd need to break above 86,000, but we're holding support very, very well. So that's also positive for SUI. But we'll get into that in a moment. Fundamentally, there's not much we need to talk about. I mean, you can see the DEX trading volumes are pretty decent, and that could also be one of the reasons why early April we were quite strong. TVL is also holding on well, but that obviously is very dependent on the price of SUI. So, all right, well, what's going on? Last week and over the course of the weekend, obviously we recovered quite a fair bit. SUI pushed into this level right here at 2.35. 2.35 is the lower bound of the main resistance level we have between 2.45 and 2.35. Rejected from that, and then on Monday the bearish momentum started, or at least the bearish momentum from SUI against the markets. Now my Wi-Fi this morning has not been amazing, so I'm not sure if we will be able to look this up real quick. But you can see that right here. I mean, you can see SUI actually outperformed Bitcoin for the majority of last week, and then Monday we started to underperform Bitcoin by a relatively big amount. Now, first of all, we have found a strong support level right here, so that's good news. I do think, or at least I think we have a chance, major support level, by the way, you can see. I do think we have a good chance to stop that relative weakness of SUI against Bitcoin. But then the second question is, all right, so we have this main support here at 2.08. We're trying to reclaim that. That's the value area low of the range we've been in since the 10th of March, so over the last month. We still have major support all the way down to 1.8, from $2 into 1.8. Given the fact that Bitcoin is holding support well right now, I expect that entire level to hold, and I also don't see any imminent reason why SUI should retest that level. So I do expect SUI to hold its own here, and I do think we'll be able to hold the support level around $2, maybe spike down a bit lower, but ultimately reclaim that and get some more stability into the POC at 2.25, 2.3. That's the point of control, the POC, so that's where most of the liquidity is. But at this point of time, I don't see any reason yet, not looking at the volume, not looking at the open interest, not talking about the fundamentals, to break above that, right? Get a spike into 2.35 like we did late last week or over the course of the weekend. Okay, but ultimately to turn SUI bullish, we'd need to break above 2.45 and 2.5. And I don't see nearly enough strength to tell you that that's going to happen. Like I said, I expect us to hold support. I expect us to move up higher here. I don't expect us to break out yet. All right, so if that happens, at this point of time, I'm mostly talking about a bullish breakout. But if the market circumstances change for the worse, and I have to talk about a bearish breakout or a breakdown, I'll be the first to tell you, right? But for now, like I said, if we're really going to be precise, I expect stability down here. Maybe some sort of a fake out, then a move up. But from that move up, I expect us to push back down as well. And those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Take care and bye.